Hey everybody, good morning. This is Pyle from the Affirmation Addict podcast and welcome back. Today I will be talking about self-confidence, and actually if you are following me on Instagram and Facebook and just social media, what I've been posting about is every single week I'm going to have an overarching theme so that for the next couple of weeks, however long this journey is, we're going to have together as a community 1 week to focus on all things self-confidence or all things love or all things relationships, because I think it'll be a really helpful technique to walk through big aspects of life that all of us are going through together, giving you exercises, journal prompts, and everything in between. So that's something new I really wanted to share with you guys. And if you're interested in staying completely in the loop, feel free to follow me on social media, join the email list, etc., watch the YouTube videos, anything really, all social media. All of the links are in the episode notes. So be sure to check those out. And you'll also find links for different resources like my coaching program, how to work with me, and other things like that. But without further ado, let's get started on today's episode. Hi everyone, my name is Pyle Agrawal and I want to welcome you to the Affirmation Addict podcast. Affirmations have changed my life, and now it is my mission to help you use them to change yours by using affirmations every day to manifest things your way. My goal is to make affirmations attainable and accessible to every single person, including you, because you have the ability to take control and create your reality. So come with me on my journey and let's see what we can manifest together. Okay, so let's get started and let's talk self-confidence. The first thing is, what actually is self-confidence? And I think self-confidence is like an unwavering sense of self. And I do not mean a sense of self in your physical body. I mean a sense of self in like your inner knowing and who you really are. Because I feel like a lot of people associate only their physical body with a confidence and within themselves. Like if they look really pretty or if they have like the ideal body for themselves. And I think it's important to take care of your physical body, but there's also a sense of self that comes with your mind and your spirit, like your internal, like your soul, and whatever you believe in. But there's more than just your physical body when you're thinking about your sense of self. And I think it's very important to work on that sense of self and really nurture and love and take care of that sense of self, because if you aren't kind of confident and really comfortable with who you are, like what you like and who you are and your hobbies and everything, then how can you even like properly function in the world? Like there's so many people out there. So you have to really know your inner being and your inner core, like what makes you happy and what do you like doing day to day. That's what really self-confidence is knowing yourself and knowing what you are inside, no matter what other people tell you, no matter how capable people tell you they are. Self-confidence is just having like an unwavering sense of self. Like, you know, you have a purpose. Even if you don't know what it is, you know that you're here for a reason. And some people are like, well, how do I even start? And one thing I want to say is the fact that you are on this earth as a human being, like that is already an amazing thing, because I think Gary Vee, he said it, that you have like a 1 in 400 million chance of taking birth as like a human form on this earth. So in that, like that already shows how special you are, how important you are, how much you've already kind of won. Like you already made it, like you've already succeeded and accomplished like the unthinkable by even being on this earth. And I don't think a lot of people even understand that being a human is like already like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So that's what I kind of want you to think about whenever you're doubting yourself or whenever you're just unsure of why you're here or how comfortable you are with yourself. Like you need to realize that like you being on this earth is already so important. And so I think that's why it's really hard for people to understand, like, where do you even start when you're trying to start your journey of self-confidence? Start with that thought and understand that you are here, you're human, you had a 1 in 400 million chance. Like that is so small. And that's amazing that you made it. So I want you to understand that you have a purpose and you're here for a reason. And if you ever think that like, I don't have a purpose, or who am I to be here? Who am I to be doing this? that's your why and that's your answer if you don't know any other thing. And so with self-confidence, like just understanding that you have a sense of self, but also loving yourself and accepting yourself for who you are. If you like things or you are the way you are, you have certain habits, accept those and love those and realize like that's okay. Just because someone else disagrees with it or someone else isn't supporting you, that's totally fine, because you have a purpose here and you really, really are here for a reason. And that you have to have that inner confidence, because no one else can give you that confidence. They can give you validation and approval, but in the end, that's just an insecurity that you don't have within you. So I know somebody asked me earlier, can you project your self-confidence onto somebody else? And I don't think so. Like, you can project it and inspire them, but you can't necessarily make somebody else feel self-confident. You can uplift them, but if they don't feel it from the inside, it will never last. It'll just be a temporary validation. And that, once again, is just an insecurity that they're not confident in themselves or they're not good enough for themselves. So it all, like, external validation and support is so important, but that's never going to be lasting enough. That's never going to be enough. Like, you need, if you were alone in a room or if you were alone on an island, like, you need to be okay with being on your own, and you need to be self-sufficient, and you need to be like happy with yourself, because everybody else can tell you can have a significant other, but if you're always looking for external happiness, you're never going to be satisfied. That's just a fact. Like, you will never be fully, completely satisfied if your happiness is only rooting from external people. Relationships and other people can help you, and they can inspire you, and they can be supportive, and they can fulfill you to an extent, but they will never like completely fulfill you. And I think that's what a lot of people are like, well, I have awesome friends and I have an awesome family. That's amazing. Those are huge blessings. But how awesome are you? Like, do you ever look in the mirror and be like, I'm really good. Like, I am killing it and I love myself. Like, how often, it's not really encouraged in society. So how often do you look at yourself and feel proud of everything you have done? You're the only one who knows every single thing you're doing. There's no one who's always watching you. So you really are, like, you're all of you. And I really want you guys to understand that. And I know it's a difficult concept in the sense that it just seems like, okay, I have self-confidence, that's it. But even I have self-confidence, like, but there's also times of self-doubt, and that's okay. Like, I think it's either one extreme, like we feel like we're on top of the world, or we feel like we're like a low life and nobody cares about us. Like, I feel like there's two extremes in our inner feelings and our inner emotion, but I think a lot of people need to realize, like, it's okay if you're doubting yourself a little bit, accept it, but don't be harsh on yourself. Don't say, dang, I'm the worst for doubting myself. You have to keep uplifting yourself. Like, it's such an internal game, and once you kind of cross that bridge of negative self-talk and like beating yourself up and doubting yourself and thinking you're not good enough, then like everything just flows to you. Like, good opportunities, good people, everything just flows to you. And that's what I'm really trying to help you all understand. And it's something I'm working on every single day too, that your self-confidence is like the core foundation to just having a beautiful life. And especially in terms of manifestation, having confidence that you are able to manifest. So many people are like, well, is it for everybody? Of course it is. Like, we're all the same. Like, we're all one. We're all connected. And realizing that one person isn't better than the other. It's just the way they think about themselves. If I have the confidence to say that I'm going to quit my job and help people, I don't know how I'm going to make money. I don't know what's coming, but I just have the confidence and I feel like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. If another person has the confidence to say, I'm going to work this 9-to-5 job and I'm going to work every day, come home and have dinner and go to bed and work again, that's amazing. So that's something that, like, you can't judge other people's experiences. You can't judge other people and compare them to yourself and say, oh, if I want to be confident, I have to do exactly what they're doing. You don't have to. Like, you know yourself the best and you know what works for you. And with self-confidence, it's a lot of self-love and really taking care of yourself. Because if you don't take that time in the morning, and I've been talking about morning routines a lot, if you don't take those 5 minutes even in the morning for yourself and you just start giving all your time and energy to everybody else, like, where's your sense of self? Like, so I remember there would be times in my life, like especially in college and stuff, where like I would wake up, go to school, hang out with friends, and like I would never like sit with myself and just be like, good job today. Like I would never do that, and that's okay, but it just felt like I was walking through life. It just felt like I was not fulfilled. It felt like there was just something missing. And I truly, truly feel like that sense of self and self-confidence is what, whenever anybody feels like there's something missing, really dig deep and be like, do I feel self-confident? Do I feel like I have a good relationship with myself and all of me? And I think because a lot of it's not necessarily encouraged, it's not really the priority of society to take 5 minutes for yourself. It's becoming like that, which I love, but really understanding why. Like, why is it so important to be self-confident? Because in the end, nobody else can bring that joy, bring that happiness onto you. And then the whole purpose of life, in my opinion, is to feel joyful no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're doing, because you have that faith and you have that trust in yourself that you'll be okay. Like somebody, something, some energy, you're on this earth for that reason. And that energy, whatever you believe in, will keep protecting you. And not to be like spiritual or religious, but just realizing like the fact that you have even a breath coming, like the fact that I'm breathing and I'm not even thinking about that next breath, like the fact that that's automatic is like, that's kind of like your proof that there's something deeper inside of us, whatever you believe, like whether it's an energy, whether it's God for some people, whatever it is, like there's something deeper, and that's your sense of self. Like that is your sense of, like, you know, that's within you, and you know that's within everybody. And that's kind of why self-confidence and honoring yourself and really believing yourself is so important, because so many people are like, yeah, I'm confident in myself, I think I can do anything. But then they go and start a business. This is a perfect example. This is me. So I feel like I'm really self-confident. So I started my business. And then like for the last 2 weeks, I've been having random breakdowns because I'm like, who am I to be doing this? I'm not even making a lot of money yet. Like then all those things of self-doubt come. But why did those feelings of self-doubt come? Was I was looking for external validation. I wasn't really realizing how fulfilling this is for me, like, and for my soul. And that's really all that matters. Like, everything else will come. You need to realize, like, do what makes you happy and feel fulfilled, because every single form of external validation, whether that is money, whether that is your likes on social media, whether that is your job, your boss telling you good job, whatever that is, that's never going to be enough until you really feel like you're doing enough. So you have to have those conversations with yourself and dig a little deeper and do some self-work. And a lot of people are like, well, I'll say affirmations for self-confidence, and I highly encourage it. But you really have to begin to tap into the feeling of, oh my goodness, like I know I can do this, and I'm doing this because I just feel good doing this, whatever you're doing. And so it's very, very important, in my opinion, to take a step back and think like, am I happy with this? And ask yourself, I ask my parents, I ask Tom, I ask my brother for their second opinion, and that's out of validation. But the first thing I really need to do is ask myself, like, what do I feel? Like, we as humans are equipped with every single thing we need inside of us. And I talked about that a couple minutes before, that basically understanding that the energy, the life force, whatever you believe is flowing through you, that is your sense of self. Like, that is your validation, and that is like your inner knowing. And you can tap into your intuition, because your intuition will never guide you incorrectly. And even using your intuition, that's confidence in yourself, that you know what there is. Like, you know that there's an inner knowing, you know that there's something bigger, something stronger guiding you. And that's just the power of your mind and your thought. Like, you know that you're good, like everything you have is within you. And it's such like a cliche kind of concept, like I'm okay, everything is good, but really tapping in and try using it. Like, try leveraging your intuition, try making that decision only for yourself, and see how good you feel, rather than asking your boyfriend or asking your girlfriend, asking your parents for that validation and then doing it. Like, just make those decisions for yourself, and you don't need other people to help you. And it's so okay to ask other people, but sometimes a lot of us like have a dependency on other people. And even with me, like, a lot of you really, really respect me, and a lot of you like really look to me for different advice and different affirmations, which I am so thankful for. But truly what I'm trying to do is help you understand that everything you need is really inside of you. Like I can't help you when you're making a big decision, and I can't kind of go inside your mind. That's you. And you have to take control, and you have to realize like you have the power to do that. It's okay to be inspired. It's good to be like empowered and uplifted by other people, but those people should be uplifting you and honoring you to understand that you're good as is, and you are good to make those decisions for yourself and make those choices for yourself. And I think a lot of people, like today, I posted about, I have the power to love myself, but I also have the power to transform myself. So a lot of people, I have a feeling with that statement, are going to ask themselves, well, if I love myself, why would I want to change myself? And change is essentially inevitable. Like the environment is changing, the world is changing, but change isn't a bad thing. I think it's commonly associated with negativity. It's commonly associated with not being good enough. Like you're changing because you're not good enough. And that's not true. You're changing as a form of transformation. You're evolving and you're growing. There's always something new to be learned. It's not changed because you're not sufficient at this point. You are so sufficient, but you are more than sufficient. But do you realize how sufficient you are? Probably not. So that's a transformation, is being sufficient to also feeling and understanding your sufficiency. So that's what I meant by transformation, and being open to that transformation, because a lot of the time we are like, there's extremes of self-confidence. Like I'm good as I am, I'm the best, and that's it. A lot of people don't have the, I guess, trust in themselves to change and grow into even better. It's either I'm really good right now, and a lot of people like that come off as arrogant, but it's also like being open and receptive to listening and growing. Other people know what they're doing too. Like there's always people you can grow from. So realizing that there's more out there and you can grow and transform into an even better version of yourself. Transformation is not a negative thing. It's a beautiful process where you become more and more and more in tune with yourself and with your true purpose. So whenever there's affirmations or there's talks about self-confidence, it's about appreciating yourself in this moment and right now, but it's also about being open and being comfortable enough to change. I feel like there's a lot of resistance to growth and change because it brings upon an insecurity, like, am I not good enough? And yes, you are more than good enough. And the reason you're good enough is because you're open to being changed and you're open to even growing and learning more. So that's why I think it's really, really important that like you don't see that self-growth and self-development as a negative thing. You don't feel like you're not good enough now. You feel like you are better, and you feel like you're getting better every single step of the way. And that's why I want you guys to realize that transformation is a beautiful process, and it encourages you to take a step back and say, I'm okay to change. You should not be scared of change, because you're only going to be growing, and you're only like acknowledging that you're ready to get even better. Because like, for example, people like, I don't know, like Wayne Dyer or Louise Hayes, like those really, really big spiritual powerhouses, and how they're so connected to the divine. They're just the same as us. Like you have the same potential to be that spiritually open. Or even millionaires, like I don't even know a millionaire's name right now off the top of my head, but even millionaires, like you have the ability to be just like them, but you have to be willing to be open to that. So if you are looking to grow and you don't feel self-confident, be open to the transformation of increasing your self-confidence. And that is what I think a lot of people, especially my age, I know in college, when I was in college, so many people were like, I'm not good enough and I can't do this. You can do it, but I can't. And that's not true. Like, just take a step back and be like, if you can do it, I can do it too. Like, do not be fueled by jealousy and by getting revenge and by trying to outdo another person. Realize that if they can do it, so can you. And that's the sense of, that's like a really, really prime example of having a strong sense of self, that you don't get jealous if another person is successful. You feel proud, and you, because you're even aware of that success, that's in your radar, meaning you can be that successful too. That's the kind of perspective that self-confidence really, really embodies. Is there's so many different aspects, like self-love, transformation, and not being scared of jealousy. Because a lot of us say we're self-confident. Even I say I'm self-confident, but then I'll do things where I'm like, this is literally an issue of self-confidence and I need to work on that. So for example, I was really, really sad about my business and I was like, what am I doing? And those thoughts of self-doubt come, and that's okay. But then I realized like the reason I felt like that was because I needed somebody else's validation. If I felt fulfilled on the inside, that's it. Like that's all I need. So stop looking for external validation, because you're the only one who can truly, truly tell yourself like, I'm doing a good job. And even my parents, like they're super supportive of me, but sometimes they'll ask me questions and I'm like, you're really doubting me right now. But that's okay, because that's my opportunity to dig deeper and say, how can I fix this? How can I grow? And how can I use my self-confidence to help them understand where I'm coming from? So that's kind of the perspective that I really feel that comes with working on self-confidence and being open to self-confidence, is not a jealous perspective or not like a stingy perspective, but more so a confident perspective that nothing can shake me. Like I am doing this and I'm on top of the world. Like no matter what you're doing, whether you are working, whether you're not working, whether you're traveling, like you're doing this for you. Like nobody else will ever bring you that same sense of happiness that you do. And even like I have a boyfriend who's amazing. I love him like with all my heart, but he will never bring me the same amount of happiness that I bring myself. And I always say this, like I think Tom taught me how to truly love myself, because when deployment happens and when he's gone, like I don't always have contact with him, and I don't always get to talk to him and vent everything out. Like I can't waste his time too. He's focusing on himself too. So having a really strong sense of self is important in every aspect of your life, whether it's work, whether it's relationships, whether it is your hobbies. Having that confidence and the like sureness that you are doing this for you and not for anybody else. Like if you're doing something to please yourself, that's good. But how many times do you do it to please another person? Like prime example is when I used to post on Instagram, especially like in college, like for all my college followers, for all of like the millennials in general, it's like I would do it for likes. Like I would go to a certain cafe, I would pose, and I would make someone take a really cute picture of me because I knew it would get a lot of likes. And why do I want a lot of likes? That's a sense of validation that I need from other people, that I have a cute enough picture. That's ridiculous now that I think about it. And I know everybody does it. Even like to this day, so many like celebrities and stuff, they'll pose in like certain ways just to get more likes. And that's okay, because that's kind of their job. But as a human, that's not their job, and they're still living out their life. So realizing that like what's driving you, what is really, really your motivation? Is it to prove other people that you're doing a good job, or is it for yourself? So that's kind of where really self-confidence comes in, is when you're ready to take action and make decisions just because you want to do them, because you have enough confidence and love for yourself that you are good enough. So as a quick recap, what I wanted to just emphasize is understanding that self-confidence, I know it's a really popular word, but it's a journey and it takes time. So give yourself the time and appreciation to really spend some time with yourself and love yourself and make things happen for yourself because you want to do them. External validation and external support, external love will never ever fulfill us the way we can fulfill ourselves. And so I really invite you to start a journey of true self-confidence and work towards it, and come with me, because this entire week I will be posting different affirmations, different exercises and journal prompts to help develop this area of our lives. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you have any questions, you're always more than welcome to email me or message me on Instagram or Facebook. And if you liked this episode, I would genuinely appreciate if you could take 2 seconds out of your day and just leave me some feedback and what you guys thought. And I really want to know what you guys learned. So feel free to screenshot and share it on your social media, tell your friends, just spread this awareness, because that is truly, truly from the bottom of my heart what I want to do, is help people understand that everything you need is within you, and encourage and empower and uplift people to take that step and do something for yourself. And so if anything I do resonates with you, anything I'm saying or sharing, feel free to share that on and give me feedback and just let me know how you resonate and how this stuff connects with you, because it would mean the world to me if it did make an impact on you. So I would love to hear what you guys have manifested. All your success stories make me so happy. It gets me so excited. So just want to say I love you guys and thank you again. I'll talk to you soon. That's all I have for you guys, and I just want to say thank you again for spending some time with me. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, head over to my social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to my website if you want to subscribe to my email list, which is affirmation-addict.com. I cannot wait to hear from you guys, and I will talk to you guys super soon. Have a good one, you guys. Bye!